I love Ammachi and I enjoyed visiting her. I know I'll miss her, but I can't wait to see her in heaven where I can talk to her. I love Ammachi and I can't wait to see her in heaven.
I want to just say a little bit about Ammachi and what she means to me and how much she means to me. She and I could never communicate because I never learned Malayalam. I learned enough to understand bits and pieces, but mostly someone would have to translate what she was saying to me for a majority of the time. But there is one way that we communicated that apparently started very early on in my life. When my mom was pregnant with me, Ammachi and Lissima used to make food for her, and my mom was like, "That's she was feeding you too." And growing up, that's a lot of what I can remember is Ammachi and Apacha and Ammachi saying, "Pizza, pizza, do you want pizza?" I can hear her voice very clearly in my head saying pizza, and that used to make me really happy when I was young. And as I grew older, I mean, the word pizza and all that didn't mean as much to me. It's really Ammachi and the value of spending time with her. And going away for school, that's when I sort of felt it the most. So when I would come back to Maryland to visit, I would stop by and just sit with her, hold her hand, maybe, or just hug her, and just spend time with her. She'd speak in Malayalam. Lissimai or another Mavi that was there would translate a little bit about what she was saying. But sometimes just sitting there in silence. And then she would always ask me if I want to go eat, if I should eat something, asking Lizzie Mavi, is there food in the fridge he needs to eat? So she always wanted to communicate with me that way. And I will miss that. And Ammachi, I love you, and I wish I could be there.
I loved Ammachi very much and I like to do stuff with her. I love to bring my toys and show them to her. She always loved to play with them and see how they worked. I also love to do filters with her and make videos. And she loved to see my bird Aliti, and Aliti loved to see her.
When I think about Ammachi and I think about what made her so special, the things that probably come to my mind the most are, first of all, recognizing what a strong woman she was. And even though Ammachi might not have been the most outspoken in the family, she had a quiet, reserved nature that could still get done what she wanted to get done. And I remember hearing stories from my mom of just early on in her life making decisions where she, stood up even to her own family to make sure that she was doing what was right. And so even though, I might not have seen some of the most bold decisions that she made, knowing that Ammachi was a woman of conviction and a woman of strength is something that has never escaped me. Another thing that I cherish a lot is, kind of like what everybody else has said, I do not speak Malayalam. But the one thing that I will always remember and that I hold really special is whenever you visited Ammachi and you sat next to Ammachi, she would always hold your hand, and you could feel her hand softly, touching your hand. And for two people that don't have the ability to speak the same language, Ammachi always, in every interaction, tried to communicate that she loved you, especially if she couldn't speak to you in the language that she knew how to speak. And I know I've seen her do that with her grandchildren and her great-grandchildren. And it's this reminder to me that her strong desire and her love to see herself surrounded by her children and grandchildren and great grandchildren, that she wanted to make sure that they felt loved. And the last thing when I think about what I really love and will miss about Ammachi is her smile. Um, those of you who have seen Ammachi smile know that Ammachi had one of the most genuine smiles in our entire family. And you can see it on the face of Sally Mama. You can see it on the face of the great-grandchildren. I'll say you could see it on the face of even Blaze himself, right? And Ammachi's smile was not a fake smile. She smiled because she really had a joy inside of her. And that joy, I think, is something that, as our family mourns and as our family continues to grow, and as the great grandchildren have great great grandchildren, is a piece of Ammachi that I think will keep going forever. Her strength, her love, and her smile. We're gonna miss you, Ammachi. I love you. I thank you for all of who you were as a person, and still are, and still continues and remains in me and in all of our family. We love you.